Hey, what's up guys, Lux here bringing you a new video, and today we're taking a look at LEGO set 21173, the Sky Tower. This set comes with 565 pieces and retails for $59.99 USD. This is actually one of the first summer 2021 LEGO Minecraft sets that got released, or more specifically having pictures seen out by some random retail store. And yeah, this set is the original one that got pretty much everyone hyped to see what other sets they would bring just based on the set names, and this is the first one we got to see, and like I said, it looked very unique, very neat. Now with the price being out, and obviously we're going to take a closer look at it when we build it, we'll see if it's really worth that price tag. Obviously this is part of the 2021 summer wave. It has a neat inclusion with those phantoms. While not very light in game, it was something we're definitely missing from Minecraft. We'll see if the build really holds up to their in-game counterpart. We got other neat little features to take a look at here. Obviously this being a sky build, and the character here being a new one and having some neat accessories as well. It's going to be very nice to look at. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the build. Alright guys, here is the set fully built up, but as always we are first going to be taking a look at the minifigures. Alright, here we go. We're going to start off from least exciting figure, the most exciting. Here we have a different cat variant, a very nice orange / yellowy one. I guess it would be classified more as yellow, giving off a little bit of that Garfield vibe. Of course, he's got a little bit of a white spot on its tail, and obviously the head here works very well, as we see before, and should only be for cats, not foxes. But you know what, that's a discussion for another video. Obviously the body build is pretty simplistic, same as the other ones. It keeps going with that white and yellowish orange color scheme. Got a little bit of an orange stripe in his forehead and the green eyes. So yeah, pretty standard cat figure here. Obviously there's different variants we can get, but nothing too insane. Anyways, that's been the cat figure. Moving on. Alright, next up here we have the Phantom figure build here. This was definitely a figure I was very much looking forward to. While it's might not be my favorite mob in the game, or most people's for sure, it's still a pretty good mob, pretty cool looking mob for sure, and glad we're finally getting in Lego form. As you can see here, you can see the eye printing on the face there. Looks pretty normal, you know, nothing to complain about. The unfortunate thing is I wish we got more detail. The Phantom has a very distinct, like, kind of demon-y look, at least with the rest of its body on the wings and on the back of it. But here, you know, Lego decided to skip out on that detail. Interesting, because they usually give a fair amount of detail on certain figures like Iron Golems, and even for their dungeon sets they make a lot of printed plates. But I would think they would make more detailed plates for this. For the wings there, as well as the back plate there. Nothing for the tail either. Has a very interesting build, very posable for sure, especially in the air on its little structure there. You can move the wings up and down, you can move the tail as well, and put, you know, stick it on pretty much any surface any way you would want it to be, as well as the head. You can move it up and down all the way around. It's with a joint. This is on a couple of pin pieces, so yeah, definitely a lot of mobility on this. That's a pretty decent build for it. A little bit oversized, but what are you gonna do? Is the best way to represent it, and I think it came out pretty well, minus the fact that obviously didn't give it as much detail as I would definitely would want here. A little bit disappointed on that aspect, but glad we're finally getting a Phantom. Definitely was expecting a little bit more in the detail category, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, that's been the Phantom figure. Moving on. Last up here, but certainly not least, we have the Pilot figure. Now this is a new Minecraft skin, which are always welcome. Definitely always welcome. And she is decked out. So first off, we're going to start from the top and move over to the bottom. She has a netherite helmet, very good looking here. Was introduced in this summer wave of sets, so very nice to get that here. Next up, she's actually holding a firework build, which is the first time I believe we're seeing this. Obviously it makes sense given what she is using. First off, the firework. If you have an elytra and know how to use it, you can pretty much go great distances across or fly straight up to the sky. So that's a pretty, we can tell she's a pretty advanced player. Next up, on her other hand, she's holding a trident, which can very easily do the same thing. It can pretty much make you fly in the air, given certain weather conditions and with certain enchantments, like Riptide. Given the fact that she's holding one with an elytra, I can only assume she also is aware of that and has that enchantment on the trident, even though we don't see it, you know, light up purple. You know, this is all things I'm thinking in my head, but on base form, she's holding a trident and a firework with an elytra on her back, which we saw introduced in the beehive set, or bee farm I should say. She has that neck attachment piece as we saw there as well. Moving all the way down to her legs, we can see she's also wearing netherite leggings. It's the similar shade as the helmet, so that's how we can tell there. And it is a very nice figure to get. Removing the helmet there so we can see the face a little bit better, so we can see she's wearing some goggles there. Interesting look for sure. I guess if you're moving through the atmosphere though, you're gonna want some protection for your eyes. No, not necessarily in game, you know. Nice little look to her there. She's got some like light blue eyes. I don't know the exact color there. Very light blue though. But yeah, that's pretty much it. No detail printing in the back. Some orange hair, and that's about it for this figure. Definitely a very nice figure. It's always great to get a new skin figure in Minecraft. That's definitely a great and good appeal to this set. Not just the builds, so we're going to take a look at here in the new mob, but it is a very awesome figure all around, especially with the accessories and what she's trying to represent. But yeah, that's been the pilot figure. Fitting name for a fitting figure. Anyways, now let's take a look at the builds. So we're going to start from tallest to shortest, I guess. That's a decent way to do it. First up here, we have the tower itself, what the set gets its name off of. And, you know, in terms of the tower, Minecraft tower, just very simplistic. You got a little bit of a interesting building structure here. As you can see, these are probably made out of black stone fences here, just holding up the structure. Not too much to take a look at. There's some vines here, just pretty simplistic standing area. Up top here, we got not much else either. Just, you know, more viewing area, or the roof of this set, of course. In terms of a tower, not too much to take a look at here. You know, your pretty basic tower build. Taking a look at this build more downwards. Looking down here, we can see that this tower is in fact in the sky. While it's built on some grass, we can see that there's a little bit of a, you know, what's trying to represent a cloud structure with these white plates, as well as a translucent brick element there to make it seem like it's being held up by the clouds. So yeah, it's pretty neat, that little feature there. But in terms of a tower, nothing too insane. So yeah, that's been the tower build. Moving on. Next up here, we have the house, which I think is the real meat when it comes to the build of this set. So taking a closer look down here, we can see vines growing down. Underneath, we can see it's also being elevated with these translucent bricks to make it seem like it's in the clouds as well. Here to the side, outside of the house, we can see some lanterns. If we take a slightly closer look at it, you can see these are the lanterns from the nether, using the nether torches, or the blue light torches here. Not bad at all. These are pretty nice looking. Very nice inclusion here. Also obviously goes with the house being with the fact that it's also blue, so nice little inclusion there. Just something small to point out. Moving on with the rest of the house though, we can see there is an iron door as, you know, the entrance here. Very nice. You can very easily open back and forth. We can see some blue carpet here as well to, you know, match the house's roof. Speaking of, if we take a closer look at it, it's pretty symmetrical all around. Pretty neat. You know, what you would typically see from a house build. It has a little bit of a chimney here actually, and funny enough, it uses a little bit of a cauldron build up here. This is how you would build a cauldron in Lego Minecraft, and they try to represent it here. I mean, it definitely works as a chimney piece, as you can see. Very nice. We got some side pillars here to the outside of the house, all, you know, symmetrical on both sides as well. If we open the door here, we can actually take a closer look inside, but, you know, we don't have to go through the door and deal with all the darkness in there. Instead, we can remove the roof. The roof also has these phantoms floating around, as we took a look at earlier, and a cat up here, because, you know, why not? They like being on roofs. Very nice little thing you can do there with attaching the phantoms with this translucent pole piece. Taking off the roof of this house, so we can take a closer look. Obviously, in here we can see a few things. We can see a grindstone, obviously to remove those pesky enchantments you don't want. We have a anvil as well, not to mention a crafting table. So yeah, no bed there, but maybe this is just a little bit of a sky base instead of necessarily the home, given that we saw the figure of the set having fireworks and a elytra to fly around. So yeah, pretty nice essential stuff there, nothing too insane. Not to mention on the side here where the chimney would be, we also see the furnace. There we go. You have a little bit of a furnace built there. Obviously it's on. It's probably smelting some imported materials that will get to be used on the anvil or the grindstone. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but the furnace is also on top of another anvil. A little bit of an anvil build there, so yeah, something else to point out. For the rest, you know, pretty simplistic stuff when it comes to Minecraft. We have these little pieces sticking out, obviously to hold up the roof. So that's a very neat inclusion there, and you can very easily slide it up there and not have to worry about it falling off or collapsing on the house. So yeah, very neat house there. Not bad at all. Definitely more interesting than the tower, I would say. But you know, we all have our preferences. But last and certainly not least, we have a little bit of a farm here. We got some potatoes growing on the side, as well as some beetroots. So a very interesting food choice. Potatoes, great. Beetroots, I don't know, maybe he's trying something new, but not my first pick for sure. We got a little bit of a water source flowing to the very bottom, obviously trying to represent that it's flowing all the way through the clouds as well, also being elevated by the cloud slash translucent piece build here. Just a very small little farm here, honestly, like 5 crops max that he can pick. We also got a little bit of a fish. I guess he went fishing there as well. She only caught one, but you know, what are you gonna do? Put it right into the composter. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this little farm build. Very simplistic, gets the idea across though. She can survive up here if she really wants. She even has her own little agriculture up here, so that's very neat and fun to see. That is pretty much it for this set. Yeah, a few things to take a look at. Pretty simplistic builds all around. They just give the idea across of, you know, this is a base in the sky. We got a little bit of a farm, we got a little bit of a, you know, watchtower. I guess you're gonna watch out for these phantoms here, and got a little bit of a nice cozy little house in there as well. I like the elevation they did with the clouds and the translucent pieces, but yeah, pretty neat all around. Liked it when this set first came out. Probably not worth the price, but still a pretty neat one nonetheless. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.